and welcome. This is Platform Media International PMI Community Events. My name is Joe Ehizode. There's a major election coming up on the October the 19th, 2015, issues-oriented election, and it's being contested by three major parties in Canada: the New Democratic Party, NDP, Liberal Party, and the Conservative. You better know that the Conservatives are in power, but on the October the 19th, issues at stake are quite enormous. So it is a choice between three parties. And as a result of that, PMI, as a responsible corporate citizen, has gone to town to bring some of these candidates and let them tell our viewers what they have in store for us as regards to the laws that will be affecting us, what they have in terms of things that affects us. Actually, as African immigrants, we want to talk about what the immigration policy is all about as it affects us. And again, things that are very crucial to us, actually the community events that will be of benefit to us. So we are bringing in the candidate for NDP, Jasbir Sandhu. Jasbir Sandhu has been representing Surrey Central in the riding since the 2011 as the NDP candidate. So in a short while, we'll be in town with Jasbir Sandhu to talk about his policies and program, his visions, and his objectives for our electorate, especially in our riding in the next, before the next election. Perhaps if he wins, if he returns. So viewers, it's up to you. Listen to Jasbir Sandhu and make up your mind on whether it will be your choice or he better serve you at Ottawa in the next 4 years, as the case may be. So happy viewing.
And what is happening in our community. So to be engaged with the community, whether it's the African community, the Asian community, the community at large, we need to be inclusive of all communities. I've got members of Parliament has got to reach out to all of the communities in this wonderful country of ours to ensure that all of the concerns are heard and take those concerns to Ottawa. So it has been a privilege, honor, and if people give me the opportunity to do this again, I can assure you that I will work with vigor and hard work to engage all of the communities in Surrey Centre.
So the other thing I see is that in your constituency here, or in your riding, there's a lot of crime, and the primary program is fighting crime, and also that's not surprising because you come from a legal profession background. You were an instructor in Justice Institute of BC. Now, now that you have done this for the past, is there also part of the cardinal programs you are taking forward if you are given the mandate?
Okay, it's very clear the approach that the Conservative government has taken in Ottawa in regards to crime is not working in my community here. Okay. We've seen over 40 shootings since March happening in the city of Surrey, and that the approach that Conservatives have taken is not working. So we need to ensure that we look at different ways how we can tackle crime in Surrey. The Conservatives, they pretend to be tough on crime, yet they're soft on making investments into our community, ensuring that we take initiative to prevent crime from happening in the first place. So certainly, you look at, in order to tackle crime, you have to look at from many aspects. You have to look at from the community's aspect, you have to look at the enforcement side of it, and you also need to look at prevention side. Okay. And how do we educate the community? So the Conservatives have been focusing on, not been focusing, I think they've been pretending to be tough on crime, yet the very programs that are that help prevent that benefit the community, and they made cuts to those. For example, the Surrey RAP program, which is Youth Gang Crime Prevention Program in schools, the funding was cut in 2014. Now, after much pressure, they have actually restore that because the election was coming. There's other programs in the community that were helping our young people to not get into this gang-related activities. Those programs have been cut. So on the other side, enforcement side, the city of Surrey had asked for 100 new police officers since last election. This was a huge issue in the community.
Yeah.
And the Conservatives, first they said, well, first they weren't approving them. Then I spoke up in the House of Commons, and when are we going to get these police officers? I stood up in the House 20, 25 times asking questions regarding these police officers. Then they made an announcement that, yeah, we've got 20 police officers on the ground, or the boots are on the ground. Then we find out there weren't 20 police officers here, there were only 6. So why don't you tell the people the truth? That, we don't have those 100 police officers. So now we still don't have the 100 police officers because they have failed to make investments where it counts, investments in training these police officers. They've made hundreds of millions of dollars of cuts to the very RCMP that is supposed to enforce these.
Yeah, I also see I'm of the opinion that bringing police officers to the community is a kind of curing the effects rather than the cause. Because I program like that will make children that will engage the children, that will engage society, children that will help families and all that. Programs will have families like that. But bringing police, I also agree that police can be there, but I thought bringing police is curing the effects rather than the cause. So issues like benefiting the family, benefiting the youth. I know that that's one of your cardinal programs.
Absolutely. So you're absolutely right. Police alone that's after the fact, after the crime has occurred. They can. Police also has visibility in the community, which is good. But you have to look at the other side, which is the prevention side of things. Why do we make sure our youth, our young people, aren't getting into these activities in the first place? And those are programs that could be available in the community. Education could be available. So you need investment into these initiatives. The Conservatives have not been very active in providing initiatives to prevent the crime to happen in the first place.
I keep hearing you talk about the Conservatives. Is it because they're in government, or you feel that you are the opponent to beat here?
No, I've seen Conservatives, they have been in government the last 10 years, so I can only judge by how they behave in the House of Commons and what their priorities are. So this has been the last 10 years. We've seen the priority. Public safety is not a priority for a Conservative. Any government, their #1 priority should be protecting its citizens. I think Conservatives have failed when it comes to crime in Surrey.
Okay. One of the things is, I've been here for 70 years, the Surrey riding. They also, people are talking about having some parks. We do agree there are parks or family-oriented places where family can relax. We talk about crime and they're not afraid to go out at night at any particular time to go relax. Is there any plan for us that NDP or you in particular have for your riding here? It used to be North Surrey, right? It's still North Surrey, right?
It's called Surrey Centre.
Surrey Centre.
Essentially, it's the same area, but the name has changed.
Okay. So, again, we're talking about what the Translake is bringing now by increasing population around the SkyTrain areas. Again, that could be also something that will affect security. Have you thought about that? Well, certainly
we have an increasing population in Surrey. We have, according to some city figures, we have over 1,000, just over 1,000, 1,200 people move into Surrey. Surrey on a monthly basis. So this is going to be the largest city in British Columbia in the very
few years.
Right. So it's a matter of priorities. So what are the priorities of the government? The priority of the previous Liberal governments and the Conservative governments have been reducing the corporate tax rate, which has been gone from 42% many years ago up to 15% now. Yet the food prices, the gas prices, the cost of living, and you know how the affordability is in regards to housing, that has been going up and up and up. So that is a recipe for a disaster. So in order to make sure that that our cities are livable, that we have a place to work nearby. We're not traveling 20 miles to go to a place of work. You need to make those investments in our infrastructure, investments in transit, investments in community safety, investments in arts and culture, investments in our parks, recreation programs. So those investments haven't been made by Mr. Harper over the years. In fact, there have been cuts to many programs that we've seen by the Harper government.
Okay, let me ask a very personal, selfish question now.
Yeah.
My community, you want to look at the camera, my community has been very restive and saying that the African or black community is becoming an extinct when it comes to positions in government, in positions, there are things that will affect the larger African community. So, look at my camera and tell the community what you can do for them to be inclusive.
Okay. See, over the last 4 years that I've been in Ottawa, and I've seen Mr. Harper and the Conservatives divide our communities, whether it's rural community, whether it's Muslim community, whether it's urban, whether it's immigration. So they've been trying to divide our communities. My job is to bring our communities together. My party's position has always been to make this country inclusive of everybody, whether you're an immigrant. Bill C-54, basically, Bill C-24, it creates two classes of citizens. I was born outside this country. I was born in India. I've been here 35 years. That would make me a second-class citizen under this bill. So anybody that's born outside is a naturalized citizen will be treated a second-class citizen under this Bill C-24 that Mr. Harper brought in. To me, a Canadian is a Canadian is a Canadian, whether you're naturalized, whether you were born here. So let's stop dividing our country. Let's bring all communities together. This is a wonderful place. Canada is a wonderful place, and we need to bring communities together rather than divide them under Mr. Harper.
Okay. Another question that you talked about immigration now. A lot of my community, they like to invite their parents, they like to invite their wives back to Canada when they naturalize here. I know that the office is open for many hours trying to attend to those people. Will that still continue?
Well, my community office has been inundated with the number of issues regarding immigration. Basically, the Conservatives have shut down the family class reunification program. Nowadays, you only can submit 5,000 applications for your parents to bring over here, and that 5,000 quota is filled on the very first day. So, what do you do with the rest of them, right? So, I think I come from a family where we like to have our parents live with us. We like to have large families live together. And if my family is in another country, I want to bring my father here, it takes 10 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years to bring them over here. And that's not acceptable. If we are family valued country, if we value families, on one hand, Mr. Harper will tell you, I value families and will want to help families. On the other hand, he will keep your family away from you for 8 or 9 years. And can you imagine? And I've seen this from many cases from coming into my office where a young man or a young woman has gone overseas to get married and they're waiting 2 years, 3 years to bring their wife or a husband. Can you imagine being away from your partner? If you're a family-based party, if you believe in families, would you not want to unite those families on a faster basis? So, and these young people that are getting married overseas and want to bring their spouse here, how their life has been put on hold.
Yeah.
Their life that is not acceptable. This is not my Canada. That has never been the Canadian position before. We have been a compassionate country, and we need to ensure we return to our more open policy of uniting families, uniting the reunification program. And you can be assured that I will work very hard. Very good possibility that the NDP will form the next government. We will work hard to reduce wait times for families, that you can be with your loved ones. I think families, parents add value, economic value, not only social value, but economic value. I know my mom and dad, they helped raise my children.
Okay. So I want to thank you, Jasbir Sandhu, MP representing Surrey Central in the national elections. So I wish you the best of luck. How are you sounding? How is it? What are you getting from the field?
We are getting very good response from the community, and I'm thankful to the African community. As you saw earlier on today, I have many volunteers who have come to the campaign. Many volunteers, those people that actually I've helped over the years for their immigration issues and other issues. So my campaign is open, welcoming to all of the communities, and I want to be a member of parliament for all communities and unite communities, not divide them. So. Thank you for your thank you for the time you've given me to interact with the community. And as always, I have been accessible over the years, and I will remain accessible. Anytime you want to come to my office, my doors are wide open.
And one more thing, sir. Nigerian independence is coming out on the 3rd, so we want you to be there.
Absolutely. I was there last year, and I'll be there this year.
Okay. So have a good one. Wish you the best of luck, sir.
Thank you very much.
And I will see you again. Have a good night.